Hello everyone, this is Rick Franzen from the Tabernacle Historical Society, and with me today are Harry Worrell and Ricky Haynes, also members of the Historical Society. Today we're going to take a tour through Tabernacle where Ricky and Harry are going to point out many of the historic sites in our town. Both of these gentlemen have lived in town all of their lives, as have their parents and I believe even their grandparents. So let's begin. Okay, we are on Carranza Road, leaving Ricky's house, and we're going to get down here. And so I know there's some older.
No, I got one more trust with us.
What are they building back there?
Horse barn.
Oh, okay. Well, that's too slow for that. We've got some older houses in here. Any thoughts about what was going on here? Are these houses that have been here for a long time, or
Just that one.
This one's been here the longest.
this one over here?
Yeah.
The other one was moved here from Red Line.
Oh, really?
It was brought here on the tractor and wagon.
Wow. And what are the families that were in these places?
Well, this was Hickey Thomas, Alfred Thomas.
Okay.
And this was moved here, and this was his grandmother's house. Honey Reeves. Her name.
And so the address here is 136.
What was her husband's name?
Gilly.
Gilly, yeah.
Gilly.
All he did was sit on the porch of her office. That's all I can remember.
Yeah, he was an older man when we were kids.
Yeah, he was an old man then.
Yeah, yeah. But and this road, I guess back then was it gravelled or?
I don't think they paved it till the 40s on, but they are.
That was around that time. Well, what they used to do, those gravel roads, they would oil it.
Yeah.
Spray it with oil.
Isn't there a house back in here somewhere?
Yeah. They're moving.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The back, what's back there is new. 142. Okay. And this is new on the right. Yeah, that's the minister's house, isn't it?
Yeah.
The right there.
This house here.
Yeah.
That's the animal.
That was an Allen then.
Francis.
Oh, you're going to get a very good.
Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of trees. Yeah. Now, is somebody still living in that, I guess?
As far as I know.
Yeah.
We used to have a huckster route. Down around Dalton and Camden. Used to grow white asparagus.
Right.
Huh.
And how they do that, they put these big mounds, ridge it up,
Mm-hmm.
And covered.
keep it covered, and as soon as the head comes out, they go down and cut it
Got it down there.
with a long knife.
That was this over here where they grew this stuff over here to the right?
No.
Oh, behind them.
Yeah, behind them.
This was all cuts over here.
Yeah. I got a quick cut story to tell you. Back in the early 60s, my brother and I used to love to drive around out here in the woods. And we were at...
Well, that was his job, drive around the woods.
Yeah. Well, that was before that time, right? Before he was a ranger. And we were going up to Lower Forge, I think it was, one day. And there's a place up there called Calico. If I remember my places right, an old town where they used to live. For the guys who work on the forge, and we wanted to find the town of Calico, so we drove out to it. You can only go so far in this old Plymouth I had. We stopped the car and got out and walked around a lot, and came back, and we couldn't get the car started.
Oh dear.
And these guys in this big pickup truck or farm vehicle come along and says, "Yeah, we got the rotor for that. You're on our property. You know, this is the Cutts Brothers property. We don't want, we don't want you out here." So So they gave us our, you know, our rotor back. And they took the rotor out of the distributor. Yeah, yeah. So we couldn't go anywhere.
I got you now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, that sounds like something.
And that's how I remember the Cutts family. You know.
They don't want you on their property.
Yeah, that was for sure. Now, anything here on the left or right that's been around for a while?
Yeah, this little house here.
Okay.
Just the front end.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that.
And the
150.
roof looked like it's going to collapse. But that's where Ross Cook lives.
Oh, okay. Okay. Know that name. So everybody around this area.
Then he built this one across the road here. I guess it's his grandson lives in there now.
Yeah. So most of the houses up and down here were Cutts family houses, one way
Right here, yeah.
Right, right in this
area.
Right up here, you want to stop, and that's the remnants of
Yeah.
Yeah, they're remnants, all right.
Yeah, that's I've been thinking of that place, and
I don't know why they don't tear it down. The rest of it.
see what we can see in here.
pretty, well, you can see.
Yeah,
some
you can
of it
see
back
some of it back there. Yeah, yeah. But that was a Cutts homestead too. Then?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Ernest.
Ernest. Now, was that one of the first Cutts houses, or?
I would say yes.
I guess.
Back in that area. And I want to go up here. I want to talk about the Church of Christ a little bit too. I think I'll pull in the lot for that just to get off the road here.
Shame they tore the original one down, that little church.
So there, you know, we've talked a little bit, I think, and with others and Ann and I think I might have talked with you guys a little bit about when the Church of Christ came here. And
Long before me.
was it in the 20s or even before that, do you think?
I've never really heard.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
But I would say you're pretty much, or maybe before that.
Even before the 20s, yeah. Yeah.
They don't have any.
They tore the original one down.
And was the original one right on this same spot, or?
Just past this building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, well, there's the church, and this
Yeah. This is
what was added.
their hall, I guess, or whatever you want to call
Well,
it.
no, they have services in there.
Oh, okay.
And I think
Okay.
they have the other goings on, whatever you want to call it. Nothing on that.
No.
You know, you told me that you were talking to Millicent Moore. Used to be Moore.
Yeah. Millicent
I
Moore.
didn't tell you, her brother still lives up in Boozer Moore's mother.
Oh, okay.
Here in the loom.
Now, is that, it must be before Needlemore's place then, right?
No, they're on the wrong side of it.
Yeah, that's different more.
Oh,
On this side.
okay. Okay. It's hard to keep that Moore family straight.
Well, most of them don't talk to each other.
Oh, really?
No, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Don't.
Oh, man. This, of course, was a Cutts house, because this was Viola's house, right?
Yeah. Charlie.
Yeah, right. Didn't it just change hands a couple of years ago?
I think so.
I think it did, yeah. We get up here. And this is where Bruce used to live, right?
Yeah, that was one
That was Winnie's house, yeah.
built in the 40s.
Oh, okay. 164. And then, of course, the Pepper House.
Yep.
And the best we've been able to determine was built like 1860, 1865, perhaps.
What will he do?
Yeah, we did that. We traced this, you know, through the genealogy, and the knight.
Yeah, originally it was a knight.
Yeah, he was a blacksmith. Came out of Philadelphia and lived out here.
Before they had cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of his daughters married a Haynes. I think it was Vincent Haynes, the guy who was a freeholder or something. Remember that?
I don't know.
Yeah. He was the one. No, I could have this mixed up a little bit. I wonder if you remember hearing about this story. There was one of the Hayneses. He was living in Medford at the time, and he owned bogs, cranberry bogs in Tabernacle, plus a house in Seaside Park. And he left his house one day to go check the place in Seaside Park, and didn't come back. So a couple of the family members went out looking for him, and they found him dead over by Cold Run, over by Lakeview Drive.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like under the under the car where the exhaust pipe came out. And they didn't know if he'd been murdered or he committed suicide or whatever. Did you ever hear that story before? No.
No,
I think that happened like in the teens or the early 20s or something. But hopefully I'll remember. And I'll bring you the write-up I found on that so you can see it. Okay, the house next to the church over there, to the right of the Hayneses. What was that?
the parsonage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I found out when that was built. I actually found some records of the Methodist Church online, and they were the records from like, I don't know, 1870s or so till about 1910, and they've got births and marriages in them, plus membership records, and there's some reports too on what happened during the year. They talk about the chicken barbecue, for instance, and how much money they made up there. And they talk about building this place and who went to get the lumber for it and all that kind of stuff.
That's pretty neat.
Was that built at the same time as the church was?
Well, it was built, I think, in 1876 or so, and I think after the church. But I don't know when the church was built.
Well, that's got it on the front.
Yeah, it's up there. Maybe you can.
Yeah, we'll find out for sure then in a few minutes.
Yeah, it's a plaque up there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 1880.
1880 it says.
Yeah, so maybe the place was built, the parsonage was built after that. I thought it was 1870s, but that's...
Well, probably was after the church.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Got tired of living in the suburbs.
Yeah. and I was interested to see too in this stuff that I found. They talk about all the guys who were ministers here, and some of them didn't work out well, and how they got rid of them early on and all that. But now going down here, can we talk about these two houses?
Alrighty.
The first one, what was that?
That was a Haynes.
Yeah, I think
that was the one that owned the store.
And the one that really invented the signal lights.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the house from the signal light story.
But it was
Ralph Haynes.
Yeah, it was just a light that looked like this, and this had an arrow here, and then a sort of a little separation, and an arrow pointing the other way.
Wow. It'd be neat to see one of them today,
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think I'll show you.
Uh-oh.
Take it out.
Yeah, I'd love to see one of them. So that was not the store then, that was a house.
Yeah.
Always a house. And then the next building was the store?
Right.
Okay. And did that burn down?
That's where all the original township records were, and that's where they had the meetings. And it burned down, and that's what happened to the original records.
Yeah.
They burn up in that store.
Yep.
Yeah. Probably this is probably.
I think I gave you a picture of the original store. But
Yeah. Yeah, we got pictures of the inside of it too that you had. And then if if we were at this intersection when you guys were young,
Didn't look like this.
yeah, I know. I'm going to ask you to describe that. I want to get into the parking lot first and spin around so we can kind
Well, right here you're pulling into the bus garage.
of. This is the bus garage right in front of us.
The bus garage sat right here.
Oh, right on this
You're
spot,
sitting in it.
right here.
And
Okay.
the store was right next to it.
Yeah.
And whose store was that?
Sam Scott.
Sam Scott. Okay. And did he have a?
That was Clara Pepper's
Right.
father.
Yeah. They had a. Didn't they have a kid named Sidney too?
I think so.
Yeah. So this is where.
Sid Scott.
Yeah, Sid. Yeah. So you would have seen. Now there was no other building between the
Yeah,
store.
barns.
Oh yeah.
They're all
barns and
back
things?
there. That's for the
Okay.
horses. And
Yeah, you know they had an open type.
Okay. At either end.
One
or-
was a wagon
No.
shed.
No.
Like a wagon shed, like the Amish have, where you tie your horse up.
Wow. I'd love to
Yeah,
see
we're
that.
talking about before cars. And,
Yeah.
and then there was another bigger barn behind that.
And at one time, I could say this was the only building in Tabernacle that had an elevator.
Wow. The store or
Yeah, the store.
The store.
store had an
part.
elevator.
See that section where
Yeah. Yeah.
Used a rope.
Yeah.
you had to,
Went from the cellar to the attic.
Oh, jeez. But that was fun to pull up.
I pulled it many times.
but for it was pretty well balanced out.
Yeah, so it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't hard to pull.
Yeah.
See, they had
Counterweights on it. Yeah. Now, what do you remember about the cemetery? Let's start with the buildings out front. Have they always been there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've always been like that. Any sense of when they might have been put up? They weren't there, I'm sure, like in 1803 when it was deeded.
Yeah, because I think originally there was a church out there. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. That's what I understand too. It's a church back. There was a church in the middle. Do you think that was a Methodist church or?
It was a Methodist Episcopal.
Yeah. There was a Methodist Episcopal. Yep. And then I've heard too that in the back area there was a lot of children buried because of some epidemic or
The
something.
middle part there where there's no tombstones.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, they were all wooden markers.
Yeah.
If you couldn't read them, they just deteriorated so bad.
Yeah.
They're all gone now.
Do you,
But the kids had, I can't think what the had now.
what?
They had an epidemic and the
Yeah,
kids all died.
Right. Do you remember what year that was or anything?
Like before my time.
Before you guys. And your dad took over caring for this.
Just because
Nobody else did, right? Nobody else did. Yeah. And you remember when it was well weeded and all that, he used to clean it up and take care of it. So that's that side of the street. So here we had the bus garage, we had the store
They had the bus garage here because the school was here.
right here, and the school was pretty much
Right
School was
here.
right here.
right where we right here at the edge of the road.
Harry does remember the school being moved.
Uh-huh.
And my first year of school, I went to it here.
And this bit, wow.
Yeah. There's a good picture of it in
Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
Yep. They see this side of the new, well, I call it the new school down there.
Mm-hmm.
Was the shape? Well, you can see it. You can see it in the picture where it was. The old school was set there. Then they built an identical section on the right-hand side of the old school,
Okay.
which was the auditorium. I don't know what it is now. I think
Yeah.
it's still open there.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember when they, us kids at that time, I was like 6 years old, 7 years old.
Now, I have a question to ask you about the school. Just spin around a little bit. This is from my wife. Ask Ricky and Harry, when did the 7th and 8th grades start graduating in Tabernacle instead of Vincenttown? I guess the kids went up to 6th grade here and then went 7th and 8th up in Vincenttown?
Yeah,
I think that was long before us.
yeah,
if it
because,
happened.
see, I went to the school here, then the next year, I went to
They went over there.
first, yeah.
Yeah, do you think?
You went all the way to 8th grade though.
Right.
And so, do you think when they moved it over there and made it bigger, that was the first year they started with 8th graders, or did they do 8th graders over here?
No, they did 8th graders.
They did 8th graders here too. Okay, I think that's what they were trying to figure out. So right now, if we're where the school was there anything else between here and the corner? No. Just like
well, the school was more or less up.
The school was right here.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Not
next
too
to
far from the.
Not too far from the school. That's right, because the main entrance to the building was on that side
Right,
too.
right.
Yeah, that's right. Now I understand.
Yeah, this was not where the door is now. Was a window.
Right.
This entrance here was put on after the township cover.
Aha.
And also the restrooms.
Yeah. Yeah. Or later on.
Yeah, there were no restrooms in there.
And right where the
To get back to the school too, there was 2 classes in each room and 1 teacher. Couldn't have that today.
No.
No.
Yeah.
And right where the market is was cow barns.
Cowboys. Now that was the Allen's Dairy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, was there any kind of a house or a building there?
That-
The house is still there.
That one over there.
That's where they lived, Victor Allen.
Victor Allen. Okay. How about that? And I guess that's all Russo's now, right? Yeah, the house.
Oh yeah. And like we was talking, there was an apple orchard, and I told you a story about the
Yeah, about the kids cutting school and getting caught and their bikes going, being taken by the principal. He said, when you come back to school, you can have your bikes back.
Right.
I know in the short time I've lived in Tabernacle, I've seen this intersection. Now that's a 4-way. At one point the stop was over here, and another time the stop was over here. It went back and forth till they finally.
And they still don't stop.
Nah,
Did I tell you about when I used to come up here every morning, Rick?
nah.
There was a woman came from Chatsworth, ran right there with the stop sign, never even slowed up.
Oh dear. Well, you never know. Now I know this is what we call, or we've referred to as the triangle in front of us, because of the road used to come across there. But there's a historic marker that says, I think there was a blacksmith shop or something here, or I'm not sure what
I think originally, yeah.
there was at one point. But when you guys remembered, as you were explaining to me, it was always like a pasture. You saw
And
Young
they had pigs in here
Pigs.
too.
Yeah, there were
Pigs.
pigs.
Yeah.
pigs in there, and there were no buildings back then, other than maybe a shed or something for the animals.
Yeah, the blacksmith shop, I think was long before us.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Okay. I want to get down Carranza Road yet and go over down Bossiertown. Talk a little bit about that. So up in this area was like a lot of Cutzes and Hayneses for the most part. They were the big families, you think, back in the day?
Yeah, well,
Laurels too, or?
there was a Wisham.
Wisham, yeah, I've seen that name.
On that, and they had a house out on the Chatsworth Road. In fact, the boy that I went to school with, George Wisham. And they also owned the Four Winds Farm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And my grandfather and his brother bought it from the Wishams.
I've seen that name a lot in old maps and
Tony
census.
Russo and the brother Louis bought this farm from Wisham.
From them too. Now,
That's why there's a double house up there, because Louis and Tony built the double house. That wasn't here until they bought the farm.
let's talk about this schoolhouse for a minute. And
It's not from Tabernacle.
yeah, it's not from Tabernacle. It's from Friendship.
Right.
Right.
And do you know who actually brought it up here, or any of the story around it coming up here and being stored at Town Hall for a couple of years?
Samuel brought it, didn't he?
I think the township.
The township brought it up then?
I think so.
And was that on, do you know who owned the Friendship area at that time? Was that the Lee brothers or?
No, they never owned it.
No, okay.
It belonged to Alloway's.
Yeah, I was going to say
Before
Alloway's.
the state.
Okay. I thought I'd heard a story that they had something to do with it being moved up here. But
Well, they
may have.
they may have
They may have
provided
paid maybe.
helped the township move
Right.
it then. And what I understand, that there were a couple of other schools in town. One was over at by Inawendawin. There was an old school there. Did you ever hear tell that?
I've heard of that.
Yeah. And then the other one was
I don't remember the
Yeah,
building.
that's long before us.
yeah. There was another one down on Old Indian Mills Road, I think.
Right.
Yeah. That was it. Okay.
That's just about across from where Ernie Gerber
Yeah.
lives.
And that it's like a wooded area or something.
Well, if I remember them saying, it
Yeah,
was-
that's another place that going before us.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Let's go up to the double house. You guys want water? Are you cool enough, or?
Yeah, we're good. Right?
Okay. This is the one you're talking about right here?
No,
No.
it's back up the lane.
Oh, up the lane.
Yeah.
Oh.
These are
I see.
new houses.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Okay, so it's. I see what you're saying now. So the house that's up there that they live in. Right. Okay. Yes. What do we got on this one? Wow.
Healy Cricket.
Cricket.
When I was a kid, I assumed he.
Cricket.
owned it.
Did when Robbins lived there, did they own it or just rent it there? You know,
I think they just rented it.
that's what I think.
Yeah. It's 202 Carranza Road.
He was a big man, kind of bald. In fact, I think he was living by himself when we were kids.
Did he have this feed store or
No.
anything? No.
And right here where Eckert's lives, there was a big farmhouse
Oh.
that burnt on Thanksgiving Day, I think.
Over there across the street.
Yeah.
How about this little thing here? It's just a.
Bob Haynes' tenant house.
Okay.
Wasn't it, Ricky?
That's all I ever knew it was.
Yeah. 237.
And Bob lived up on the next house.
Harriet.
In the next house.
Okay.
Pardon? What'd you say, Ricky?
Harriet's husband.
Oh, yeah.
The,
Harriet Haynes.
they call that Sunny Lawn or something?
Yeah. They had dairy.
They had dairy too.
Dairy.
Oh, so there was a Sunny Lawn dairy farm.
I don't know if they called it a dairy farm, but that's what it was, a dairy.
is a neat looking old house here. Sunny and all. I think there's some old pictures of that around in the Historical Society too. Yeah, it shows a fence and stuff. I want to get down to Bossiertown and swing around and come back and then go across the fields here in that road. So this area in here was just kind of like all farms. I mean,
right, open.
Open, yeah. So
But there was an old house here, but I don't remember. Right in this area someplace.
Yeah.
I don't remember any name.
So before Brace.
Yeah. Brick owned this farm from Medford.
Oh, Brick, he was married into the Haynes family too, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah, they were mixed up there somewhere.
Yeah. We'll come back and get down that road. We have another old farm up here on the left. This,
Jess Simons had a dairy here.
oh boy, another
This is what
diamond.
they used to call Breeze Hill.
Breeze Hill, huh? And this was another dairy.
Different buildings though.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But was the house the same though?
Yeah.
That looks
Yeah, the
pretty
house
old.
is the same.
Yeah.
Buildings are all different. There used to be a big dairy barn in the back.
See this area? That was an open field.
Okay.
Okay, in 1940, 39, somewhere along in there, 39, I had my first airplane ride from that.
Oh boy. Wow.
You know, two-winger
Yeah, biplane.
biplane,
Yeah.
and there was the front seat was where the passengers sat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Here, my dad and mother were building their house. Walter Gager was the contractor, I guess you could call him, the carpenter anyway. And he wanted to see what the house looked like when the rafters were there with no roof on it. And they were given, you know, airplane rides up here. And he said to my grandfather, said, Willie, would you like to see what this house looks like from the air? He said, we'll go up, and it was on a Sunday. They used to do crazy things with those airplanes. So he said, you want to go? I said, yeah, I'll go. I was 9 years old.
Oh man. So was the plane here all the time, or was
No.
that just like one of those what they call barnstorming or something,
Right.
where they come in and take people for rides?
Right.
Not to change the subject,
Yeah.
but did you see where yesterday or the day before where the airplane came down in Eagleswood? On the news?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
You know where Eagleswood
Yeah.
Airport is?
Yeah.
Westkirk.
Yeah, I know. I
Well,
didn't.
that plane is exactly like Honda's. Same make
The same.
and same year.
No kidding.
And when they showed it on the news the other night, I thought Christ, hope it wasn't Hans, but it had red wings, and his has got white wings.
No, I didn't know that. I didn't see that.
I heard something where I think that the
Used to be a sawmill right over here.
Oh,
On this
okay.
side right
in this area right here or down the road.
Yeah, back over the houses are.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Jess Simons shot an eagle one time up there with after his calves. Boy, did he get in trouble.
Yeah, I imagine. Now, this is another old place here.
BB's used.
Yeah, that was BB's.
BB's. Oh, okay, the BB's. Yeah.
Of course, these are all.
Yeah, all new stuff in there.
Here's an old one up here on the right left.
We talk about this cemetery a little bit too. Is this the old one right here? Or is it?
Now it's on up the road. That was a chicken farm at one time right there.
Oh wow, look at that.
And right here, that's the
Oh yeah.
old place. And which one of the Hayneses was working on the roof and fell off of that, Ricky?
Jeez.
Remember?
The only Haynes I know fell off the roof was Nelson, but he fell off the barn roof. So I was told.
Yeah.
Well, that one looks like it's got a halfway decent roof on it. The windows are all falling out.
Well, that
Yeah.
belongs to the McGoverns, as far as I know.
Yeah.
They must want a lot of money for it because it's still for sale.
Yeah, they have to tear things down to
Yeah.
do anything with that.
They're coming up to the cemetery.
Yeah, here it is.
That's a big piece of ground there. That goes all the way across the other road.
I know that's like L-shaped.
I don't know if you can pick up that sign a little.
Yeah. But what do you remember about this? I mean, I know it's mostly African American, right?
It's all theirs for it, wasn't it?
Yeah. I know there's one guy buried in there, that George Ayers, who was in the Civil War. But yeah, it goes here and then comes out over on Bossiertown, right? I often thought the township, if it ever wanted to have a cemetery, could pick that up and take care of it, but
I'm sure they couldn't clear the trees off of it now.
yeah, they're really up there. Really up there. A car coming to wait for him. Is there anything down beyond Bossiertown Road that would be worth going to take a look at, do you think? Or?
That was old. That's different. Old house, I think it was.
Another one? Okay. Take a quick look down there. How far down is it, Rick?
Right up there. Almost to the. I don't even think that house is up there.
I don't think
I
it
think
is.
it's worked down.
It's good. It was in here?
That was up over the hill.
Ah,
I think it's a different house.
okay. Another one.
No, it is.
Yeah.
Another one bites the dust, huh?
It's right here.
Right here, huh? 414. It used to be an old house.
Danglers lived right here too.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
The apple tree drifted off.
Jeez. Not.
Getting old, Harry.
Yeah.
Not like us, though, right? We're not getting old.
She's older than me.
She's as old as I am, or maybe a year older.
So this house on the corner here, I remember they added onto it or built onto it or something. Was this an old house or just?
Well, Manny Dilks' house is completely different than that.
Yeah.
They made it. Well, put a second story on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Manny and Vivian.
she was a Gerber.
Gerber.
Everything along here are new houses.
Pretty much.
Peppers had this section right here for a woodlot.
Oh, okay.
And back where the house is too. They owned it. They're the ones sold it to Manny.
Are they cutting oak, I guess? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, they cut firewood. That's a lot of people had
Firewood
woodlots.
Yeah.
for the winter.
That's before they had gas.
Yeah. I'm wondering if we'll ever get gas on my side of town. You have gas where you are?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do? Yeah.
They, in fact, there's where it stops at my house.
Yeah.
They said if two people on the road would take gas, so I said, yeah, I'll take it. And
Yeah.
the bank took it.
Yeah.
So right at my driveway is where they stop.
Yeah.
In fact, they would have went a little farther. No
Flat
brakes,
tire.
I guess.
Yeah,
You got a log under you.
Yeah, stop it from rolling. Yeah. Yeah.
I said, I have an underground TV line going into the house. He says, where's that? I showed him where it was. He said, we'll stop at your driveway if they okay it. He had to call in the fellow that was, supervising.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, stop right at his drive.
Now, is Bruce's house an old house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't remember who
Who owned it before Jim Gerber?
I can't think back. Who did
I
it?
don't know who owned it before Jim.
What were the families that lived back in this area? This was the Severs? Yeah.
Severs.
Severs.
And where Rachel lived, my grandmother lived there. Right here.
Now, is this the one that they talk about a log cabin on the inside?
I've got Craven on the head.
Yeah.
This is Rachel's here.
Oh, okay, this one. Rachel's.
Yeah, Seaver and Bob. Yep.
And this is the one that,
Yeah. Lilibel and Bob Wheels from Severs.
did you ever see what was inside in terms of this log cabin?
I've been in it, but it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
I was never in there.
No foundation on it.
Yeah. I heard it's termite infested.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I know the lady who lives here, like her name
Betty.
escaped Betty, yeah. She
Yeah.
was telling me that.
That was her mother and father's house.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was telling me they didn't know what to do with it because it had a termite problem.
Yeah. This was her sister, Faye.
Isn't there an old house down the end of this road?
Yeah.
Now, it lives there now.
I didn't know. There's one down here that had a
There
fire.
was an old corner,
yeah.
corner property.
Yeah,
right
it was there. Wasn't there a story about somebody hanging themselves in that house or somebody dying in it?
Yeah, there might have been.
I think Bruce told me that one time, or somebody did.
The last house down, I can't think of Maghorn. Well, anyway, when they passed away, somebody bought it and had those Clydesdale horses.
Really? Down
Yeah.
here. Wow.
A long time since I've been down there.
Yep, they did.
Yeah, there was, I think it was this house up here that was on fire at one point. And they, I think I saw the video on TV.
Warning.
Private property. I guess this is where we're going to stop.
Yeah.
But that's the old house in there?
Yeah.
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 I would say this section here.
On this side,
on
yeah.
this side.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. You can see that looks like it's a big
Yeah,
newer addition to the right. Yeah. Ever since the Cutts brothers caught up with us, I don't like going where it says private property.
they still have horses, but they're not Clydesdale.
Not the Clydesdale, yeah.
I'm trying to think what their names were. Clydesdale, can't remember.
But prior to that, I only knew her by Mac, probably Margaret or something.
Uh-huh. You know much about the camp down here? It's now a Boy Scout camp, I think, but it used to be a Methodist camp. Camp
I
in Methodist.
don't know that much about it, but I'll tell you who could tell you more about it. We call her Woody Gall. Well, Fitzpatrick, she was his
Oh yeah, yeah.
Gall.
Yeah.
Right? They lived there, took care of it. So she could probably give you a little heads up on that.
Try and remember that one. Yeah. That's an old place there too. Okay.
And Joanne Russo
Oh, okay.
lived there when they first started. In fact, Hess lived there. Was
Yeah, Lou Hess.
a distant relative of our family.
So, did you ever come out this way to like visit relatives and stuff like that back in the day? And how did you get around?
Well,
What kind of cars did they have? Your family have?
well, I remember my dad had a 1935 Chevrolet. When I was small,
Mm-hmm.
and he was going to go over to what I called Aunt Phoebe, was his aunt, right? So he got out of the car, he forgot something. Got
That
out
was
of the
right next to my house.
Yeah, we'll show you when we come out.
Yeah.
But he got out of the car, and I'm, what, 4 or 5 years old, and I did something to the gear shift, put it in reverse,
Oh,
and
jeez.
it backed up into a clothesline, knocked that over, and it was headed for the outside toilet.
Oh my.
So that's my first driving experience.
You got in trouble for that, I
Yes,
bet.
I did.
Yeah, we have a historic marker here.
Yeah.
Another Civil War guy.
But
Long cabin.
Hodson is
Yeah,
what
Hodson's.
I was trying to get it in my mind.
Yeah.
Oh, who owns it now?
Yeah. That's it.
There used to be a little house in here
Uh-huh.
where Buddy Backer lived.
Yeah, right around the corner here.
And there's a road that went in here, goes all the way out to the field.
Oh.
Impassable.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
There'd be a lot of roads around Tabernacle you could go through.
Yeah. Yep.
I think Buddy lived just about right here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right in that. You probably go in there and find some.
Find the foundation.
His house was about as big as my kitchen.
Jeez.
If that.
Yeah, if that.
It wasn't very big.
Wow.
And he was blind. And he used to shoot deer. Now he could aim at the deer. He had a white rag he tied it around the end of his gun barrel.
Oh,
That's how he
my.
aimed.
Jeez.
He
too.
lived off of the land.
Yes, he did.
Wow.
He'd keep you supplied in deer meat.
Yeah, yeah. Were there as many deer around back in the day as there are today, do you think?
No.
A lot more today. Yeah, that's what I...
No. And what deer there were, people come from South Jersey and built most of these deer clubs.
Yeah, yeah. I saw it might have been a historical society piece that at one time there were like 20 or 25 deer clubs in town.
Yeah,
Bundle of them.
Ricky's father used to keep a record of all the deer clubs, and somebody almost every night would come in to the store and tell them how many they killed that day.
Wow.
And he would put it on this.
I wish we'd have kept them.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would be so cool.
And I'll
Yeah,
tell
but who
you,
thought about that then?
Yeah, you do. I mean, yeah.
when I was a kid, 100 years ago, we watched the cars come out of the deer woods at night. There'd be a string of cars just like, almost like a train.
Now, what did you call
When I was a kid, the cars coming in ran the road.
Uh-huh.
First morning in deer season was just solid morning.
Wow.
Hey, Model A's, old cars like that.
Yeah.
You know how the Model A has fenders?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they would lay the deer right in there.
Right in that little crevice. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In fact, I did it when I had a 31 Model A.
My father had a Model A. We used to call it the Tuttle Cobra.
Did I?
That's what we took up in the woods when I was a kid.
I admit I should have gone the other way back there. I got to turn around. I want to go across and pick up those houses on the dirt road. I don't know what you call that road. Yeah. We turn around, go the other way.
Harry, I didn't know this was sold too.
Yeah. No, I heard, but I can't remember who bought it.
Well, I can't either. Somebody I know too.
I don't know if Bob was telling me that or not, because they come there and get the bird food.
Well, it was up for sale for a lot of money for a while there. Like almost $1 million or something. I was going to ask you guys before, you've mentioned now like 3 dairies, I think. And I know Allen's has like a milk bottle, because I've seen them.
Ricky's got one.
Yeah,
one or two.
I got my own also.
You
But
know,
these other dairies, did they have milk bottles here? Remember?
yeah, Furman Fowles, he had a dairy
Uh-huh.
where the O'Neills owned down Flyout Road.
Okay.
Do you have one of them, Ricky?
Yeah.
He could show you that. Well, there's Allen's right in
Yeah, Allen's. Yep, got it. Yep. Yep.
right in the historical building
Yep.
house.
Yeah, they've got, I think they now have 4 of them in there, in that little carrier.
I offered a guy, if he could find me one, $50. I told him I'd give him $50 for it. But he never come up with it. So he thought he had one. In fact, Hickey Thomas bought one down at Badstow off of a bottle guy, and I went up. We got there after Hickey. I went up to him and I said, "You wouldn't happen to have a bottle Victor Allen's Dairy in Tabernacle?" He said, "I just sold one."
Just sold it. Well, I'll tell you how I got mine. I used to collect beer cans, right?
Full or empty?
Both. And that was like maybe 30, 35 years ago. And one of the way and there was big groups of collectors back in those days. And I used to go out in the woods and dig through dump piles,
Right.
you know, and I mean, they're all over the place, and get my cans. Well, twice I pulled up Allen's Dairy bottles, complete, you know. And one of them was, I think, on Dixontown Road. If you come off Medford Lakes Road and take that angular road,
Right,
Dixontown, you go up that a couple of miles. There used to be like a little driveway cut on the right-hand side, and that led back to a dump from one of the bars in the area or something. And it was you know, like a really football-sized field of old beer cans and glass and all that. And me and a local guy named Joe Paskowski used to go up there a lot. He lives on Medford Lakes Road, and you know, he might have pulled some of them out of there too. I don't know. But I often wonder about this hog. What's the name of that road? Hog Farm Road up by the circle.
Oh, okay.
It goes in straight in, and then it makes a 90 and comes over to New Road. And I often wonder, I've never gone down it. You can't drive it anymore to walk only. If there were dumps back in there too, you know.
A lot of dumps all over the place.
Yeah.
Just before they had recycling
Yep.
and trash collection.
Yep. When I was a kid, we used to burn our trash in the backyard and bury it.
Except for everybody else.
Now this is Montgomery's own this house, right?
Well, they do now, I think. But Roger Brick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This was a brick house. That's what you said before, brick. I think Kim Brown's daughter is married to the guy who lives here. And then as we go around down here, there was you said it mentioned the sawmill, right?
Yeah.
Over there.
Oh,
It's over that way, yeah.
See that little building?
Yeah.
Virgil and Helen O'Neill lived in
Oh, did they really?
one of these houses.
Oh.
I guess it's not here anymore.
Yeah, I guess it's gone now.
Yeah.
I thought it was still here.
Yeah. I didn't know that was torn down or burnt down or.
Was it where this barn is?
Where this pile?
Oh, okay.
Pile is.
Okay.
It's a tour down.
Yeah. And that back over to the left, is that something that's new?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have a name for this road, do you know?
It's not a public road.
Yeah, I know it's private. I was just wondering if they named it anything.
Oh, on the other end, everybody always called it Haynes Lane.
Ah, all right.
Now there's the sawmill.
Yeah. Make a
And
sharp.
that vermin fountain, see that white
Yep.
shining? And Shorty, we call her.
Now, did I miss a turn? I thought this road went over that way.
Well,
It
it
used to.
used to, but it done.
Been 100 years since I've been.
Oh, so now it doesn't go that way anymore. So I
I
got
think they. No,
okay
this really goes back into
that property.
that
Yeah.
property.
I thought you could get all the way through, go over to.
Well, I haven't been up here, so I didn't know
No, I haven't either.
that they let that road grow up.
Yeah.
Well, Vincent doesn't let anybody come through there.
He's probably got it blocked off on the
Up there, the Furmans.
Yeah.
I'll bet you. I still have some cedar that you cut for me.
What's their last name at the sawmill?
Haynes.
That's right. I thought it was Haynes.
Yeah, look, you can still
Yeah,
go.
that's what's left of the road. It's like
That's where it was. Went
You can
down
still-
there.
What about, we always call him Binky.
Vincent.
But yeah, I say, he was in bad shape, wasn't he?
Still is, yeah.
Wow. That really surprised me. I thought
No, I
you.
didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was still there.
I did
Yeah.
too.
I knew when we started to go left up there, something wasn't right.
Oh, I think you can pull in there and turn around.
Did we
Yeah,
turn up there? Okay.
right
Yeah.
there.
Go up there then.
Spray painted on the side of the sawmill, Harry, no trespassing.
Oh yeah, intentions.
Oh, he hates me.
Oh.
When his brother died, he sent a message to me to not come to his viewing because
Wow.
I didn't come see him when he was alive, and I don't want you to come see him when he's dead.
Wow. Man.
I didn't go.
Well,
I don't blame
it's
you.
understandable. Dear.
Yeah, Harry, I never knew that house wasn't there anymore.
No. Well, when Virgil and Helen lived there, and they would try to get them out, they said, if you don't move, we're going to have these Puerto Ricans or Mexicans. We need the house for them to live
Wow.
in while they're working for us.
Jeez.
And they were going to move them right in with their
Man. Hello everyone, this is Rick Franzen from the Tabernacle Historical Society, and with me today are Harry Worrell and Ricky Haynes, also members of the Historical Society. Today we're going to take a tour through Tabernacle where Ricky and Harry are going to point out many of the historic sites in our town. Both of these gentlemen have lived in town all of their lives, as have their parents and I believe even their grandparents. So let's begin. Yeah.
towing outfit.
Yeah, when I saw it, he was trying to shovel it out. I thought,
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, can you believe it?
He was desperate.
He just thought he was going to do something.
Yeah, didn't work. So going down here is just all farm fields.
This
So we
was
got
all pastures,
pastures, okay.
where the cows,
Yeah.
pasture.
Oh yeah, for Allen's, yeah, makes
Right.
sense, yeah. And Rick, you one time told me one of these houses, I think around the bend, was a kit house, a Sears house.
It came from Apple Pie Hill. There was another farm right
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
This was a dairy farm too.
And
So nothing,
there was a big
those
house,
buildings are gone.
Yeah.
big house sitting here.
Oh,
And
wow.
used to be a road that went across from one. It was
Oh.
back, just about back to the corner. And this house here came from not that house, but wood from the
Oh, okay, they
hill,
built-
the house at Apple Pie Hill.
Now did that have
Harry's uncle brought it here.
This is where John Adams
Okay.
lives. Okay.
Now, when they brought the wood, did that have anything to do with the sanitarium that was out there?
Well,
There was going to be a housing development there.
yeah.
Ah, yeah.
In fact, I rode on the truck that brought the lumber here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is so neat.
No, the house that you're thinking of, I told you was up at Moore's Meadows, not the Sears Roebuck house.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
And my mother and dad's house. This was my grandfather's house. The first one we're
First
coming
one up
to.
to. Okay.
Okay, that's where I was born.
This house right here.
Right
Wow.
in this
Yeah,
house.
Harry's another that never got far.
Yeah, he got down the road.
Yeah.
He got further than I did.
Yeah. 468. Huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's the house that was. In fact, I still got the Sears and Roebuck catalog.
Wow.
That they didn't buy it from Sears, but they took the
Like the plan.
the plan.
Yeah.
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 Now, since I sold it, this section on the side was put on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we used to have blueberries in here.
Oh boy.
A half acre of blueberries.
Wow.
And this was an old pepper house.
Okay.
Let's see, would be my great grandfather's.
60.
And here's where my father, not my grandfather and his brother owned that farm.
Four Winds.
Four Winds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is this an older house too?
Yeah, this is.
Who owned this before Hosey Morgan? You know?
Yeah, but peppers.
Oh, what's pepper?
Yeah. They used to grow asparagus mostly.
Well, that's one vegetable I just don't like.
Isn't that something? Now I like it.
I like it too if it's
Yeah.
green. I don't want to white.
Now, in back of this house where you see that white roof,
Yeah.
well, not quite that far back, there was a big barn. And this old truck set out there, and Ernie and I used to play, you know how kids are. And somehow I closed the door. I'm talking about, you know, this didn't even look like any metal or anything, just a windshield. And I closed the door and got my thumb caught in it.
Oh.
I remember that.
Well, you would remember that. You get your finger caught in a door.
That's for sure.
Man.
And when they tore that barn down, there wasn't any siding on it or anything, you know, because it went to pieces. They hooked a tractor to it to try to pull it over, and they couldn't pull it over.
Wow.
Because of those old timbers, and you know how they put it together.
Yeah.
They finally had to take a chainsaw and cut it.
Wow.
So
That when I was a kid, Rick, this used to be a nice house. Well kept house.
and also
And this one over here too.
there's
Now, is Denny or John related to anybody in town, or?
no, not that I know.
John Adams?
No.
Stevens.
Oh,
there's
Stevens.
Stevens. Yeah.
There's his wife.
Yeah, Denny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, it's brand new. Pretty much new.
That used to be a asparagus field
Back there.
right there. Now Russo's, they still farm part of it.
Oh.
This was an old house here too, Ed Gerber. And that was all redone.
Yeah, it's all been redone, but it was a nice house before they
Oh, yeah.
did it.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Now here's what we can't understand with this place.
Wow.
Can you imagine coming home and parking in a mud
Jeez.
puddle and walking in the
Yeah,
house?
I can.
Man.
But did Pangy build that house out here?
Yeah,
They built it.
yeah. This property
It
here
went on down the road.
was part of the Four Winds farm.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Now, Irene, she lives here in Warney when he was alive. And this was part of another farm. You see this hedgerow here?
Yeah.
And it goes out to Doug Kramer's,
Oh, his property. Yeah.
his property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Irene, did you hear the other day when they sang Happy Birthday to Irene?
Oh yeah, I heard her. She thought it was.
I didn't hear it till my wife told me.
Yeah, she thought it was her.
She thought it was her. Her birthday's in January.
Which is your house, sir?
Right here.
This one right here. Looks
And this place,
Almost it.
Stevenson's, not Steven. The fellow lives across from Abs. Has equipment. What the heck?
But he started to build it and he never finished it, or?
My aunt and uncle owned the house that he tore down.
Okay.
Well, he tore a house down he could have fixed up for what he paid for the windows. In this $35,000 he paid for the windows. He could have had a nice home there,
Yeah.
When he first bought it, he told me, he said, I'm going to fix it up. You know, there was some things that, here's why it went to pieces. People from New York bought this place, right? They didn't do a thing. They rented it out. And they were going to put a strip mall out on the 206, and they were going to tear this house down and use this for...
Yeah, I remember. They needed the acreage.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were going to exit on this road or entrance to this strip mall that's on 206.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't do a thing. The people lived in there, said, you know, it needed some work on the roof, and some of the windows were bad. They wouldn't do a thing. So I guess, I don't know how they lived in it. They boarded it up or something.
They lived in there for a while. Yeah.
I'll tell you, that place had 2 fireplaces, one in the living room and one in the kitchen. It was really a nice place. It was built in 1953. And mine was built in 1955 when I come back from the service, and I moved in February of 1956.
Yeah.
That shows you what little bit of
Care. Just
care.
A little bit of care. Yeah.
Can do.
Yeah. A little bit of care. Well, I guess you get these absentee landlords, you know, they don't care a whole lot about what's going on.
And guess what? Their daughter, he died. Their daughter and his wife. Now there used to be a house, the farmhouse, that sat right there where the Tabernacle Inn is. That owned the property that I own now. But I bought it off of Haynes's from Vincenttown. Back in, I bought it about 50 in the 50.
Yeah.
Because I went into service in 52.
Then you had to.
And so.
Wow.
And they sold lots. In fact, I bought 3 lots. They had 100-foot lots at the time.
And that was the ice cream stand there. I'm gonna catch that before we get by there.
Not much left of that.
No. I forgot we got another building down here we got to go see on Wyatt Road, right? I got is that where your homestead was, Ricky?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess the Kramer house was there for quite a while too, huh?
Yeah, that was owned by the Peppers.
Peppers?
My mother's aunt and uncle lived there. Double house.
I got a feeling it's getting pretty hot outside.
I think they're going to have that's an old outside
house
temperature.
Yeah, that is outside. 86. You're right. Yeah. What'd you say, Rick?
Went by an old house there too. Used to be a gas station.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, Harvey's, their name was.
Okay.
Archibald Harvey.
Yeah. He stopped when I was building my place. He said to me, in 10 years, this was back in 55, right? He said in 10 years, that house will be worth 4 times what it's costing you to build it right now.
So this is your...
That's the Haynes house.
the Haynes house, huh?
Robinson
bought it from.
Yeah.
Yeah, was that Leon, or how did Leon?
Leon, yeah. Leon Robinson.
I knew him. He was a nice guy, I thought. He took care of that grandson of his, Joey, who was a problem kid. But my son wrestled at and so did little Joey Robinson, and that's how I got to know Leon. Wow, look at this place over here.
Rehabilitation.
Yeah, just a little.
Well, our church put the roof on that place for that color.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I can't remember her name. She was a big colored woman.
I don't know. Did you ever hear the story that Bill Cosby's family grew up over here?
Well, I know Cosby.
Cosby, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know if that was the same family or not? Or did you ever hear that? Or
I couldn't tell you. I heard some people talking about it, but I don't think there was ever any proof.
yeah.
He might have, been part of it, part of this family.
The let me see if I can remember this right now. When I was coaching baseball with my kids, we had a kid named Jack Cosby on the team, and they lived down here. And it's two. And it was
There's one coming, but you can make it.
And his mom is a lady who was the bank teller up here at the bank. I forget her first name. She's on the school board too. But she, or out of that we
There's
heard.
an old farmhouse set here by people by the name of Snow.
Oh, I knew that name.
Yep.
Was it Jack Snow or something like that? Or Molly? Was there a
Molly Snow and
Our father-in-law.
Yeah.
and they took in state children.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Foster kids.
There
Yeah.
was a lot of people around here who had state kids.
In fact, Paul Fitzpatrick grew
Yeah,
up
he was
there.
a state kid.
Oh.
Him and his brother both.
Yeah.
Huh. When I first got out of school in 1968, I got a job as one of those social workers who used to put kids in foster care like that. And we're all assigned areas. I worked in Camden County, and my area was down in Atco. But there were farms down there that had foster kids too. Now this house has been rebuilt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was
Completely. I don't think I've seen that.
Ernest Cutts.
Ernest Cutts.
Jack.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
originally it was not Jack's, it was his father-in-law's.
Right.
It
And she was, his wife
Oh,
was a
shit.
school teacher.
Uncle Eugene Crane.
Yeah.
He developed that Alzheimer's, and they put a chain link.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
around.
yeah, that's right. And I think this house was built in the image of the other house. Wasn't the other house like closer to us or something?
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
I think they,
Yeah.
kind of like what the Worrells up on 206 did.
Oh yeah.
You got to know them.
Yeah.
Kevin's mother's sister, Kevin Worrell's mother's Barbara. I think it was her sister who
Well,
owned the house. I'm not real.
Well, it was a dairy farm,
Okay.
Henry Worrell, and he and I used to get mail mixed up. I'd get his mail, and he'd get my mail.
Well, names are close, right?
Yeah.
There's another old farmhouse up here on the left.
That was another dairy.
Another dairy. Jeez. So if you collected Tabernacle milk bottles or dairies from Tabernacle, there's more than just Allen's, and there's a couple of them around.
Yeah.
Who had that before Furman there?
No, I can't recall.
And you said a road came through here from
Yeah.
Medford Lakes Road, right?
Yep. Went right over to that other farm that we were showing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a guy that lives by himself now, isn't it?
His little goofy.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
Irish cousin.
O'Neill's. Yeah.
Yeah.
My cousin's son.
Not your cousin, your cousin's son.
His father was my partner.
Yeah. Richard. insurance.
Insurance. Was that you in that insurance? I didn't know that.
Now this house right there,
Yeah.
Buchanan. He was one of the boys that the teacher took his bicycle.
Oh yeah.
His nickname was Featherbrain.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. I want to ask a little bit more about the school when we get up there. I've never really clearly understood what it was that came from up on the corner. And maybe you can just, because you said they added half to it.
Yes. Front section on the left, was the old school.
Okay.
Hang on.
Yep. And was it 2-story then, or just 1 story?
No, it was just like it is.
Just like that.
Yeah. Okay, this one. Yeah.
Just like that, just the left-hand side there. And
Of course, it wasn't that, that big.
Right. It was just like
Yeah.
this one section that
Like, yeah, this
From here.
first section.
to the gutter,
When
to the downspout.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow. It must have been a heck of a move to move that thing.
Easy as pie.
Yeah. Was it?
They put big wooden rollers in there like that. And they had a winch.
Mm-hmm.
They sat down
just went-
in the road, and the horse went around and around and
Oh,
around
my
and
goodness.
around and around.
And he took up on the winch.
Yep.
Holy mackerel.
I'd have liked to have
They were
pictures of it.
professional movers, weren't they, Harry?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. Well, why do you think they moved it over to this site from the other one?
Well, it needed to be bigger, and there wasn't any room over there to
No,
I forgot that.
right. That's why they moved it.